Hello, Marvel fam. Welcome to episode of Marvel Talk with your hosts,
Nick
and Chris. And we got some good stuff to talk with you about tonight.
We got some Marvel news. That's right, guys. We did have a video planned last week, but it got scrapped due to not a lot of more information on things. So we've kind of we did a TikTok. If you guys want to go check that out, links down below. And our Instagram, everything. But there's been so much that came out this past week, especially like in the last couple of days with Simicom, with Avengers Doomsday and everything. But before we get into that, we have a few other things that came about. So we're going to talk about that first and then save the juicy stuff for later. So let's just get this out of the way. If you enjoy, like, subscribe. Let's get into the Marvel news. So the first thing that happened today was Disney laid off a lot of their employees, especially in the Marvel Studios department. Christopher?
Okay. Yeah, according to Culture Crave, Marvel Studios was reportedly hit hard in the Disney layoffs. Nearly the entire visual development team was let go, many there for over a decade. Only a skeleton crew remains in place to coordinate hiring on a per-project basis. Disney overall is laying off 1,000 plus employees.
Yes, and they're just to show the proof. So, this isn't the first company to actually do this. Epic Games recently laid off 1,000 of their employees as well, and it's been going well for them. I speak of them because, they do Marvel stuff and Disney owns a piece of their product, and now Disney doing the same. And with and I saw someone on Twitter talk about this, about how, so close to Doomsday they're doing this. You don't really want to do this so much towards Doomsday, and I think I can agree with that. What do you think, Chris? No one likes to see losing your job, right?
Yeah.
We've been in that situation. We don't want to go through that. We don't like to see that. It's a really crappy position, but it's been working for Epic Games. Let's see if it works for Disney. Maybe these are 1,000 employees that they don't really need, but hopefully the best to them. Our hearts and our prayers go to them. Hopefully, they can find something better,
and best of luck.
Yes, in their future's endeavors. But with that being said, now we move on, because also during the Simicom, and Marvel confirmed this, but we're going to do a different thing, because Disney and Marvel did confirm this all, but this was first report. This was like when we first got the report before Disney posted. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this was like before Sony and Marvel and Disney posted their stuff about it. Here it is. Christopher.
An official news still of Miles Morales and his dad in Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse.
We're not going to show you, like, all the pictures. But yeah. That's pretty much all we're going to show in terms of pictures besides these, because we have more reports on it.
Yeah, so Kingpin, Spider-Ham, and Spider-Man Noir will return in Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse.
And this is coming from...
coming from Toon Hive.
That's right. Toon Hive does a lot of the animation news department. They're very reliable sources. But that's pretty much everything we got from that. But now we have one last thing to talk about with Spider-Verse, with the last news that we found.
Yeah, from MCU, The Direct. Here's the official news synopsis for Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. Hunted by Miguel O'Hara's Spider Society and betrayed by his friends, Miles finds himself in the darkest corners of the Spider-Verse in search of a way home, knowing that his family has not been only fractured but endangered by his calling. It's a race against the clock for Miles to travel across the wildest reaches of time and space to fight for and reunite everything he holds most dear.
That's correct. So that's basically, this is supposed to be part 2 of the Spider-Verse. It's been a very long time now. This is something that was supposed to come out a while ago, but they've been taking their time with it. We appreciate that.
Yep.
Very exciting stuff. And it's like next year during the Doomsday, so it's gonna do really well. More big stuff from Marvel's. But segueing to Spider-Man, we have some confirmation of 2 Lego sets regarding Brand New Day.
Well, 3.
Well, 3 of them. I mean, one of them is not really like a Lego
yeah, I know.
set.
One's a...
one is just like a Lego figure statue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you are right. My bad. I just don't really consider those sets. I just consider that something else. But we'll show you right here. This was first reported by the
Brick News,
which they take care of all the Lego news, and they got this like spot on instantly.
Yeah, it's
so here it is.
New Lego Spider-Man brand new day sets coming in June.
Which is a Tombstone with a vehicle, and then Hulk. But if you guys notice, it's not Gray Hulk, as we've been seeing around, which means something's fishy about that. Now, to be fair, Lego sets don't usually have, like, the proper minifigures. This could, like, the No Way Home minifigure set, for example. We didn't get the Toby and Andrew one till, like, next year. Those sets that we got were just, like, Spider-Man and Doctor Strange with the new suits, and some retro and from like the last two movies, like with Vulture and other stuff. That was the No Way Home set. So here, this is probably one of those things where they put like a regular Hulk minifigure in there with different pants, and then next year we'll probably get like a Gray Hulk set or something. So again, don't take any of that like as a legit spoiler or anything, as Lego sets don't tend to really follow the movie stuff. But now we got some news regarding the animation
from Marvel Updates.
Yes.
Brad Winderbaum has confirmed that new seasons of X-Men 97 and Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man will be released every year.
That's right, and these are supposed to come out this year as well. So they're already working on season 3 for both of them. And we're getting season 2 this year for 97, and of course for Friendly Neighborhood. So that's very exciting. And now we can finally get to what's going to be the biggest part of the news, because CinemaCon, now we have a bunch of different sources from this, but I promise you, other sources confirmed sooner than others. You got to remember that when we were doing this research, these guys found it first. These guys were like the ones to do it. So everything that you see is facts. They all reported, just some reported sooner than others. Just to let you guys know that. Also, we are not real reporters. We are just talking about the news. So just remember that. We are not reporters. We are not legit sources. We're just talking about the news that's going on. So with that being said, Christopher, the first part of the news.
All right, and a lot of these will come from Avengers updates, by the way.
As they are the guys that really focus on the Avengers stuff. So
yeah. So the Avengers Doomsday banner is on display right here from Disney's CinemaCon panel,
which is pretty cool. And Kevin Feige.
Yep. And with the Avengers Doomsday themed hat, also Avengers updates, by the way.
How exciting is this?
And just to zoom in a bit more,
he is dooming it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Now he wrote a lot of stuff regarding trailers and information. So we're just gonna have Christopher Cook here with what he said. If you want to summarize it, you're fine. It's a lot.
Yeah. So also Avengers updates. Description of the Avengers Doomsday trailer shown at CinemaCon. We hear the words "something's coming," something we may not be able to deter. Over the ruins of the X-Mansion, we see Dr. Doom kneeling and his face looks scarred. Thor remarks that he's fought many enemies and threats that scare him less than this, saying all his heroes and friends died. Everything they sacrifice will mean nothing if they don't stand together. We get footage of Thor approaching Doom with Stormbreaker. The Fantastic Four meet the MCU heroes. Shang-Chi fights Gambit. Mystique turns into Yelena. Thor leaps at Doom with Stormbreaker in hand, and Doom stops it at once. Steve Rogers approaches Thor and says, "Hey, pal," and Thor says, "It's not possible." Steve reaches for Mjolnir, and it leaves Thor's hand, coming to his. The trailer ends with 12/18/26 is Doomsday.
Now there are some leaks online. We have not seen, that's to show you that we have not seen any of these leaks. Yeah. I want to make that very clear. Me and Christopher have not seen any of them. And, that's just how that is. This is not really like spoiler news, as you know, you can hear something and it can look completely different as it sounds. So that's why we're not really be like spoiler warnings. It's just, you know, not to mention the stuff that come out like this is probably going to come out like Monday or Sunday, as we're recording on Saturday night. So there you go. But yeah, don't worry about that. If you feel like skipping, you guys can already do that. But yeah, but we got more. This is coming from
Discussing film. Steve Rogers and Thor reunite in the Avengers Doomsday trailer,
which we talked about.
Yeah, Thor says it's not possible until Steve reaches for Mjolnir, and it leaves Thor's hands coming to his.
Now, unfortunately, yeah, these are just regular photos from Love and Thunder, and I don't know what costume that one, like Avengers.
I don't know. I think
Winter Soldier.
I don't know, Winter Soldier or Civil War, something like that.
Winter Soldier.
I don't know, but you know, it's Captain America.
Yeah.
Yes. And okay, now coming from Disney is just announced at CinemaCon, Infinity Vision.
That's right, guys.
A new certification for premium large format theaters designed to signify to audiences the biggest, brightest, and most immersive cinematic experiences. Infinity Vision sets a new benchmark for theatrical presentation, certifying auditoriums that meet rigorous technical standards, including a focus on the largest screens for maximum scale, laser projection for superior brightness and clarity, and premium audio formats for fully immersive sound. Beginning with the September 25th re-release of Avengers Endgame, and followed by December 18th release of Avengers Doomsday, audiences will be able to seek out Infinity Vision certified screens and see the film on the grandest possible scale.
I think that's something we're gonna have to do, Chris.
Oh, definitely.
if our AMC has that. So this is like a new technology type thing, but yeah, it's kind of crazy. How do you feel about that?
It's definitely exciting.
It sounds very exciting for sure, but yeah, let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. But we got even more news. We're not even done.
Now, coming from Marvel updates, the Russo brothers say that Victor Von Doom is the greatest Marvel villain ever, even more than Thanos.
Which we can all agree on that. I feel like we had a conversation on, well, we had a private conversation on this.
Yeah, like a little while ago.
Yes, and just like in general, I feel like that's one of our favorite discussions to talk about.
Yeah, because you know, like who's like the like a ranking of best Marvel villains.
Yeah.
And yeah, anybody who like read comics and stuff, yeah, can probably definitely
I feel like we talked about it here on the channel too, though. I feel like we had that discussion at so many points because of just how true that statement is with Doom. Just like, you know, I feel like
all the things he's capable of.
Yeah, MCU Doom is gonna be very exciting, and you know, we're gonna have a TikTok out pretty soon about something, guys. So again, just follow us on our TikTok and our Instagram. Just
it's
so that you don't
definitely
miss
gonna be
anything.
good.
Yeah,
exciting.
it was. Yeah, we can't wait to talk about that. So yeah, just we're leaving it with that. But yeah, let's move on to the next one, shall we? I don't know.
All right.
So I don't know why I tapped that. Sorry, guys. Let's keep going.
All right. So also Marvel updates. Mystique shapeshifts into Yelena in the Avengers Doomsday trailer shown at CinemaCon, which we also talked about.
Yes. But these are just reconfirming things. Just want to show you guys that, you know, reliable sources have been confirmed. And we talked about it earlier that, you know, so many sources. We also like to show you how they handle their source. So the next one.
So also Marvel updates. Kevin Feige on Avengers Doomsday. This film takes place where Endgame left off, but also goes back to where when it all started with X-Men.
You see, it's I feel like this one was like taken out of context because how does that work? Because it's already been so many years since, you know, since Infinity War. Unless if this is like a different universe happening and then we're gonna get the adjacent 616 or Earth Many Nines. And, you know, we saw the X-Men look completely different from the first movie, from just the Cyclops trailer and the Magneto trailer alone. So but many sources have reported that statement. we're not trying to like put something false in there. Like that was like a lot of statements going in there. We double checked that, and everything we double checked was legit. But it's just kind of weird that people are saying that when we just had Multiverse of Madness, we had Loki season 1 and 2, we have like, you know, the Spider-Man No Way Home, Deadpool and Wolverine. It just feels weird that, you know, this type of information again. Maybe the first guy that talked about this kind of spread it, and a lot of people were like, okay, this is from a legit source, let's copy and paste it from this. And it allows other sources to kind of just be like, well, if this legit one said it, then maybe we should say it. And the fact that the one that we just talked about is one of the most reliable sources, probably just heard it from someone else as well, and was like, well, then it must be true. I'm going to say for this one, take this as a grain of salt, as this could have been taken out of context from something. Just because look at what we had going into the Infinity Saga, the Multiverse Saga, my apologies. The reason why I say Infinity Saga is because they're still talking about the Infinity Saga to this day, and are still trying to connect it with it when this is like its own thing now. My apologies. But the Multiverse Saga, and I know we're definitely going to have a talk about this year, because it needs to be talked about. I feel like now is a better time than ever to talk about the Multiverse Saga. So we're gonna have and I know I said that a while ago, but we're still gonna have that talk. Maybe that could be like a next month's video. I just feel like this conversation needs to start happening soon, because especially with this, where, you know, who really knows what this movie is going to be taking place. It's just, know this, it's definitely not taking place after Endgame or the beginning of X-Men. I can tell you that right now. Maybe there was just like a misunderstanding, and I feel like we're going to leave it at that. But it is being talked about. Again, we're not news reporters, we're not sources, we're just talking about what's been going on with news. These guys are the ones that are doing the news and everything. We're just guys talking about the news. So I'm just going to say this. I'm not going to believe it. I think there's just a lot of misinformation going around with that one. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, I want to just wait and see.
Yeah, because it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but moving on.
Now, from Marvel Archives, apparently Tom Holland says Robert Downey Jr. saved his intro scene in Civil War from being cut down by the Russo brothers. Tom said this: "It was 8 pages of dialogue. It was a long scene when I got to set after I got the gig. My scene had been cut down significantly. It was now maybe 2 pages. Downey piped up, 'Where did all of the kids' lines go? Let's shoot the whole thing from the audition. You can always cut it, but you're going to want to have it.' And they used all of it. I owe that to him."
Yeah, we figured we just add that one little in to just kind of mix in between, because this just came out very recently, as you can see. And it's just I thought that was really nice. And
Yeah,
I showed
it was
Christopher.
cool.
I saw it. I gave it to Christopher. I'm like, "Do you want to put this in the news?" And he was like, "Yeah, let's go for it." So it made into the Marvel news.
Yeah, a little fun little fact, apparently.
Yeah. But back to where we were starting with. Now we can get back more into the Doomsday side of things, Mr. Christopher.
Yeah. So coming from Cosmic Marvel, Johnny Storm was crying and hugging someone in the first trailer for Avengers Doomsday.
Very exciting. Very exciting stuff. Who knows what's going on up in here?
Now also Cosmic Marvel.
This has been one of the biggest talked about ones too. One of the biggest talked about ones.
Avengers Secret Wars will reportedly put Doctor Strange in a position that only a few MCU characters have been in, described as an interesting redemption arc.
Which is, I didn't think he needed a redemption arc, as you know. But that's interesting. This has been one of the biggest talked about ones in the news. So we figured we share that one with you. Again, Secret Wars hasn't even been filmed yet. Things can be scrapped. But that has been going around the internet a lot, and we figured we'd share it with you guys.
Now, from Ant-Man news, like father, like daughter, 2 tiny cheers for the Ant-Man family. Because just the other day, Catherine Newton, who was Cassie Lang in Quantumania, apparently is coming back.
That's right. She made a video about it and having that little seat, and we thought that was really cool. And, you know, we figured we'd just put that in a little news from there. Now, more from
Avengers updates.
Let us hear it.
Kevin Feige says Avengers Secret Wars is the most ambitious project that he's ever worked on.
Whoa, yeah. Man, I mean, we're already hearing so much about Doomsday, but hearing that sounds pretty exciting.
Mm-hmm. And apparently from discussing fish, like, this is pretty interesting. Wilson Bethel will seemingly return as Bullseye in Avengers Doomsday.
Possible cameo.
Reportedly spotted in multiple shots of the CinemaCon exclusive trailer.
So there you go. Apparently people saw him. It may not be our Bullseye from Earth Many Nines, but it could be someone. It could be possible.
Yeah. And we got from discussing film. Kevin Feige says there were days filming Avengers Doomsday where 30 to 35 actors were on set at the same time.
That's how crazy this is gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
That's how crazy.
And yeah,
we do have a few more information that we didn't get on the news in terms of Twitter and stuff, just because this came out very recently during the time of this recording, and we didn't want to just add it in as last minute. Avengers Doomsday is going to be 3 hours long.
Like almost 4 hours.
Oh, this is Lord of the Rings shit.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this is your time of the recording. We didn't want to make it like a last minute thing in here. So yes, it's going to be Lord of the Rings long and very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
And just to add one more non-Doomsday thing again, we have our second roadmap for Marvel Rivals. It looks really good. We get our MCU Iron Man and a couple of other stuff that came out. Hope you guys have been enjoying Black Cat. I stream there on Twitch. Go check me out, Gamer Bro Nick Wolf. But yes, so that's really covers everything up from the Marvel news.
Mm-hmm.
I want to thank you all so much for watching. Let us know what you're so excited for. If you're excited for the Lego set, for the Doomsday stuff. And just let us know.
And Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, that's, we both loved the first one, and the second one we really liked, but it was just like, this hangover, they didn't do it so well.
The cliffhanger.
That they gave the little hang right there. But but that's everything that went over. We hope you all enjoyed. If you are new, again, subscribing is the best way to help us out. If you want more Marvel stuff from us, like we said, description down below gets you all the access to our TikTok and our Instagram. So yeah, we just consider giving us a follow, and we'll really appreciate it, and hope you liked. So with that being said, we all hope you have a great rest of your day, night, wherever you're watching this, and well, Excelsior.
Enough said.